Sure that there are some people who want to respond to it, but these are the rapid fire talks. So the invitation is to use lunch and every break to reach out to her. And now we'll quickly move on to our next speaker.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ksenia Nigrutsagotska, and I'm a co-founder of Netherlands for Ukraine Foundation. Peter, thank you so much for inviting me here. So healthcare system in Ukraine never been perfect. But since full-scale war started, of course, it became way more difficult. United Nations estimate now that 1,700 medical institutions in Ukraine were damaged or destroyed, while 200 medical workers were killed by targeted missiles while they were staying in these medical facilities. So such things as a shortage of oncology therapists, as radiology equipment, just shortage of medical personnel, and what is really important to consider in Ukraine currently, that 5.1 million Ukrainians are internally displaced people, which makes it one of the largest displacement crises since Second World War. All these factors makes care of oncology patients extremely difficult. Our foundation is busy with medical evacuations, with bringing oncology patients as well as trauma patients from Ukraine to the Netherlands for treatment. And so far we brought 131 people. We take care of them from submission to the successful or not successful finishing of their treatment. We collaborate with the Ministry of Health of Ukraine on the Ukrainian side and directly with hospitals and particular doctors on the Dutch side. And I also was asked to tell a couple of things about trauma patients. And confidential data, for example, estimates that currently in Ukraine there are 50,000 people with amputations, while state program can provide only from 2,000 to 3,000 people with prosthesis. And if war goes on like this, experts estimate that it will be plus 10,000 people with amputations per year. Why? Of course, because of direct influence of war actions, but secondly, because 4 times the Netherlands, this is equivalent of the territory in Ukraine, which is covered with devices that didn't explode yet, basically with the landmines. So this gap is so dramatic that Ukraine simply will not make it without foreign support. And I know that here there are a lot of doctors, and I have to say that we talk a lot with managers of hospitals in the Netherlands, but at the end it's always about the doctors, about human beings. And if they're willing to support and accept Ukrainians, for us, this is like the most important first step. Then the rest we take care of. We will arrange medical transportation, we will arrange housing, translation, routine care, everything. And also, luckily, temporary protection of Ukrainians provide them with RMO insurance, which means that even really expensive treatment will be covered in the Netherlands. So my call to action to you, please accept Ukrainian patients. If you have this urge, if you have this willingness, please reach out to me. I'll be around, and I'll be glad to arrange everything so you can just focus on medical treatment of these people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is Carlos.
Good morning. My name is Carlos Uve. I am a psychologist and double cancer patient, and I have been a cancer advocate, patients advocate for the last 20 years. Okay, so my English is not good, as you can see, and I prefer to read. Okay, my presentation. Well. How emotional intelligence can improve patients' well-being. How to deal with silent despair. Silent despair manifests in patients as internal anguish and is camouflaged by daily routines. cancer often intensifies this essential battle. These feelings of despair are deeper these days because of the social media, where we are used to express our success but not our drawbacks. The deep root of this is a lack of self-esteem, a lack of personal security. Many times is the result of a life of lies, a life of show, where the most important thing are the appearances. For the solution of this problem needs, I have created the emotional thinking method away from the self-esteem to leadership. So, for the last 20 years, I've been giving talks and workshops to cancer patients and their families. This method has developed 7 skills. First, self-knowledge, to make an actual evaluation of their own skills and character. Second, self-esteem, a global and positive evaluation of these skills and character. People learn how to be positive and to be proud of their body. Third, resilience, in order to accept the life drawbacks through exercise, relaxation, and mindfulness. Fourth, design a personal life plan according to these personal characteristics. 5. Improve our own communication skills in order to find new people around to feel secure with. 6. Develop empathy skills through compassion, others' acceptance and tolerance. And 7. Getting own leadership and being able to influence others in order to develop a secure and social personality. In any case, when a cancer patient feels despair, the first action to be done is to look for personal aid and to look for amnesty, friendlies. So at the end, as an exercise I always do, I ask you to stand up, please. Thank you very much. And now against despair, silent despair, the only solution is connection. So give your hands, all everybody, yes. And I take a picture. Okay. Okay, yes, like this. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Big applause for Carlos. These are the surprises I love so much about rapid fire talks. And remember, if it resonates, feel free to reach out to Carlos or any of the other speakers. Floor is yours, Jesper.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks, guys. I'm Jesper. I work with the team of OncoAIMS to bring a multi-cancer early detection test into the world. And I do this because I really believe in progress, technological progress, making a better tomorrow or better world today. And I recognize that in everybody here. And this is something we all strive for daily, and we dedicate our lives to that. I have found one problem with this, and that is the problem of frustration, because why is it not today what we want to achieve tomorrow? You know, why is there no CAR-T treatment today for everybody? Why is there not a good multi-cancer early detection program for everybody? Why is it still today that Philips Morris is sponsoring healthcare events? Not anymore. A personal experience to put a perspective on this I wanted to share with you, and that was the answer to this question of how to balance this frustration in my own life. And that was almost 4 years ago when I became a father of my 2 children. We were in the hospital because they were twins. It was medical, nothing really special, but it was happening. We were going through labor. It was all going fine. It was really a nice experience, actually. Great care, great medical workers. But then right before the final delivery, something happened. Umbilical cord prolapsed, and yeah, not a good thing. So the nurse came in and she said, "I'm sorry, it's going to be an emergency C-section." And I was like, okay, what happens now? She walks out into the hallway and she says, "We got a code red." I'm like, wow, code red. What's that? That sounds quite dramatic. And it was actually quite dramatic because from the moment she told us that it was going to happen, we were running over the hallway straight into the OR. I was breaking down completely, obviously. And it's funny, we just said like the people who are suffering the most, they guide the way. My wife was the strongest I've ever seen her. And 15 minutes later, my 2 children came out and I finally met my children for the first time. And after this experience, I was left with a big question, which was what happened actually. And reflecting on that, I found that the only thing that happened was that I and we were lucky. Lucky to have been born today because 200 years in the past could have been a very different outcome. And born here in the Netherlands because only 5,000, a couple of thousand kilometers away, situation can be very different. And it taught me that the balance that I bring to this frustration is gratitude for what has been done in the past that leads up to the moment and to appreciate the moment today. And that is something that I think all of us may recognize. You know, the frustration about tomorrow should always be balanced with gratitude towards all the great people in the past who have fought like us. And I hope the people in the future will be grateful to this wonderful group of people. And that puts ourselves in a very balanced position in the history of what we're trying to achieve. So thank you.
Okay. I've said this every year, but patient advocates are the hardest people to manage because they are used to hearing no. They don't take no for an answer. So I'm going to have to ask you to wait for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes, because when you know. Because we are about action and inspired to live. So come on in, because this is an incredible announcement. Everybody has already done the early detection blood test. It has happened already. The girls were so excited. We are needle phobic. We made friends over the needles and the test tubes to do this. And we're very emotional because she's lost a dear friend just a week ago. And so this is very meaningful to her. It's meaningful to all of us. But these girls who sat there with such pride and said, "We've done it. We are full house. Everyone has done it." And so we had to interrupt for this incredible moment. Thank you all so much. And thank you to all of you.
Floor is yours.
So thank you for that. I'm Alejandra Mendez from Chile. And I've been working with children and adolescents with cancer for over 20 years. And I was very inspired when I heard Daniel this morning and about silent despair and how patients and their families suffer in silence despair. And I've been thinking about that for a couple of years. And then with the adolescents I work with, we were doing some research in Chile and in Latin America on why it was so hard for them to express their real emotions. All of us who have been in a cancer ward know that the patients usually, what they feel usually is fear, anger, frustration, maybe they're angry, lonely, and of course, isolated. They feel isolation. So when talking to the adolescents I serve, we were trying to understand their feelings and make them talk about it, but it was really hard for them to open up and show their real emotions. They were all suffering in silent despair. And I just want to make a reflection and hopefully to make you think about this. Because after working and doing some workshop with them, we realized that they didn't talk about their feelings because they thought they would disappoint the expectations that we had of them. And when I talk about we, is the families, the caregivers. And we were asking how comes, right? We're here to support you. We're here to make you feel okay. And then the answer was really surprising. It was like, here in the oncology ward, since I was diagnosed, all what I hear is that I have to be a brave warrior to defeat this war. I have to fight. I have to be brave. I need to be inspiring. And over and over, these things, I'm talking about these adolescents, they keep listening to the same words, right? Fighting the battle, they want to win the battle. As if the attitude would have something to do with the outcome of the treatment, right? So the real emotions of fear, as I said, fear, confusion, frustration, loneliness, isolation, were not acknowledged at all. They felt they were not allowed to show these emotions because they will disappoint or will not live to the expectations that we had of them. So my call to action today is to think about the language we use and we refer to the patients. And I totally agree that we use the language trying to encourage, trying to give them positive, trying to make them feel that they can do it because they can. But still, for some patients and for their families, the language that they've been referred to can really have an impact in isolating them even more and not getting their real emotions to be expressed. I'm talking here as a mother of a childhood cancer survivor. And when we were in the oncological ward years ago, my son Pablo was given a superhero outfit to wear, which was fun. He always was wearing like the Spider-Man or Superman. He was fine. But my attention was like, wow, does it need to be a superhero? Do we need to be superheroes to fight this battle? And if he doesn't make it, is he a loser? Are we losers? Right? So the superhero outfit really struck me. And I just want you to reflect on that. What is the social mandate that patients and their families might be receiving from us?
Thank you very much. Thilo is our last rapid fire speaker. The rest is moved to tomorrow.
How long do I have? 15 minutes?
Yeah. 3.
I was here last year with a very thin book. I'm here today with the complete book. The book was conceived by Sarper 2 years ago, I think. A number of you have written this book. And there is still some homework to do. Jeff, Salome, and someone else. they will get their copy, and then the copies that are left will be distributed by Peter in a just but rigorous way. I have homework for the writers. I want a very good quality picture. And I want you by the end of the week to read your piece and give me any comments you still have. I know that these 2 years have been part procrastination by myself, but I had to think about it a lot because people like Diane, who is not here, unfortunately, and Mona impressed upon me the importance of making it a book of stories. And it's very difficult to make a book of stories with 21 writers because you get different stories and different styles and different focus. So I had to think about it. So this is no longer a book of stories. It's full of stories, but it's a book of voices. You read the story, you know what's happened, you listen to the voice, and you know who you're dealing with. And I think that solves the problem. Anis has a very different approach to his cancer history than some other people, like Peter. And both are very interesting and in their own way very inspiring. So thank you, everyone, for cooperating, for working on it. By Christmas, this should be available for everybody. And a special applause for Sarper for kicking the ball onto the field and giving us the impulse to start on this work. Thank you very much.